So let's talk about the spirit of rejection and how the spirit of rejection can make you make decisions that are not best because you don't want to reject others. We're going to talk about the power in the word no. So, a quick little testimony. When I was a young girl and I was made to feel really unattractive because I was dark skinned and a little chubby, my peers made sure that I knew I was not attractive, especially the boys around my age. And I remember my first time being rejected. I had a crush on a guy. I wrote him a "Do you like me, yes or no" letter, and he scribbled really hard on the paper, "No," big and bold, and I could see the smoke coming up off the table when he finished circling no. And I just remember how bad that made me feel. And when the opportunity came to me to be able to choose whenever guys would approach me, I was afraid to say no because I thought that saying no meant I was being mean. So I'm going to take you to Matthew chapter 25, where we're going to discuss the parable of the 10 virgins. So the parable of the 10 virgins is basically Jesus telling a story about 10 virgins who were waiting for the bridegroom to arrive for a wedding celebration. And you had 5 foolish ones and 5 wise ones. The foolish ones didn't bring any extra oil for their lamps while they wait on the bridegroom, but the wise ones brought extra oil. Now the bridegroom was delayed, and while they were waiting on the bridegroom to arrive, they fell asleep. And so when they heard a shout at midnight saying, "Here comes the bridegroom," they all rose up, and the foolish ones went to the wise ones and asked for some of their olive oil. But the wise ones looked at them and told them, "No, we don't have enough for all of us. Go into town and get your own." And in that moment, most of us will be angry. We will feel rejected. But not only does being rejected protects you, but sometimes you rejecting others protects you as well. Because had they gave up their oil, they may not have been able to meet the bridegroom at the wedding celebration. What ended up happening was the foolish ones went back in town to get some olive oil. But when they came back, the wedding had already happened. The door was shut. And when they banged on the door asking to be let in, bridegroom replied, "I don't know you." So they wasn't ready, and the same thing would have happened to the wise ones had they shared their oil. And so the root of this message is being told no is not a bad thing, but most of all, telling people no is not a bad thing. You being rejected is protection, but also your rejection to others is your protection as well. You can say no. There is power in the word no. When I say that rejection is protection, although in this story, being rejected, didn't seem fun for the virgins. But a lot of times in life, when you are rejected, it's God's protection, because what God has for you is for you. And sometimes we want things that God doesn't want for us. And when you reject others, it protects you as well, especially on the subject that we're speaking of as far as giving your body away. If you are dating and you tell the person you're dating, whether you're a male or a female, that you want to save yourself to marriage, and they decide that they don't want to deal with you no more, praise God, because that is a way of protecting you. I always say that the ways of God extinguishes the spawns of Satan, the people who are just coming to use you and get what they want from you. So rejection, we have been taught, is a bad thing. We don't like the emotion, the negative emotion that comes with not getting what we want. But we have to change our perspective and understand and remember that what God has for us is for us. So if we are being rejected in that moment, that is a form of protection. And your rejection as well will protect you as well. Stand firm and be confident because you belong to God. Your body belongs to God. And God don't want you just giving it to anybody. How to know if this person is truly for you is if you tell them that you're living for God and they don't get upset and go away, but instead they decide to be on that journey with getting right with God with you, then you will be able to save yourself to marriage with confidence without feeling pressured, without being made to feel less than. We live in a society where they tell you that the more bodies that you get, the more people you sleep with, the more people you can control and seduce with your body is power. But the truth is, saying no and withholding yourself for marriage is the most effective way to embody strength and to display the strength and confidence that God gives you. Learning who you are and how precious you are to God should motivate you to not want to just go around and just sleep with anybody who just tell you a bunch of nice words to make you feel good, because love is deeper than that. And you want someone who truly loves you for who God calls you to be. And how you will be able to tell is when you tell them no. And telling people no, especially when it comes to your body, it gives you more power, more control, and helps you be more disciplined in life. And with that stewardship over your body, you will yield better results in life when it comes to choosing a male or a mate and finding that soulmate for you. Because only a man of God or a woman of God will be willing to walk that walk with you and wait until the time is right. Anybody who's trying to rush you into a situation or make you feel bad or less than because you're not taking that step before marriage is not of God. So whenever you get rejected by such of a person, that's protection and a blessing at the same time. Y'all be safe.